face the ordeal, to shape the world plan in his creation, Savitri's greatness must arise. It is in that greatness that she will stay the wheels of doom. She will stop the movement of those dangerous wheels. This could happen with a knock on the hidden gates. Savitri has to hit on them, on the hidden gates. Smash them, throw them open. Her strength in a sudden lightning touch must away from the slumber, the human slumber in which she is lying. Her strength must awaken from that. That is a knock which can kill. That is also the knock which can save everything. Savitri experiences the body's pain. The pain of the body which awakens her up. It is the body's pain that prompts her to knock at the closed doors, the ebony doors. That knock serves a double purpose. It kills what stands in the way. Remove the obstacle that stands in the way. In that act of killing, the doors of the future open. That is the occult spiritual sense of killing and saving in the act of Savitri's work. Killing and saving. It happens at both the levels. It happens at the cosmic level. It also happens at the individual level. It is not only the personal issue of Savitri, it is also the issue of the universe, of this creation. It is universal concern. It is an issue, a concern arising because of the inconscient beginnings of this creation. Savitri must experience it herself. She must experience personally the horror and the fight and the pain of such a creation. Savitri faces the dreadful engines of the universe. And here is she standing behind the driving wheels. Here is the flame of a soul that can ride the chariot of victory. But what is the engine power that drives her? That which gives the thrust, the speed to the chariot on the path of victory. What is the leverage that works the magic, the formula that does the trick? Savitri has discovered in her soul that formula. She has found a leverage in her soul. The magic leverage is her will has to be one with the will of the world ineffable. It has to be one, her will has to be one with the ineffable's will. Not a prayer for a desired result, a stipulated result, not a prayer, but a bigger wisdom. It is that which sets aside the expectation of the prayer. It can overrule the prayer. But when there is that oneness of the two wills, of the individual and the transcendental, the mortal strand can get linked up with the superconscious force. Then is accomplished the easy miracle. It is one mighty deed which will change everything. In it, one mighty deed can change the course of things. It is in the identification of the individual's will with the will of the transcendental that the course of things can change. And that is the magic leverage. But how does that magic leverage operate? What is the magic formula? It is an act of prayer. Also an act of idea. Also an act of will. It is at once a prayer, a master act, and a king idea. They all, the prayer, the master act, the king idea, they all working in the fulfillment of the aspiring soul. It can be a prayer becoming a master act and a king idea. It can be the master act which can be nothing but a prayer and a king idea. It can be the king idea turning into a prayer and a master act. Bhakti in its fullness becomes karma and jnana. In the same way, karma in its fullness becomes bhakti and jnana. In the same way, jnana becomes bhakti and karma. One could start either with bhakti or with karma or with jnana and achieve what the others would give, karma and jnana. In that embracing formula is the transcendental force which enters into the creation. When these three in their rich complementarity become one blaze, that the flame of the soul, then it is a joyous bending force which does whatever has to be done. It accomplishes whatever has to be accomplished. That is the triple perfection. That triple perfection comes in this identity, in the oneness of the personal will and the divine will. Savitri has already come to this desirable yogic preparation. In it, he received the commanding power to govern things and nature, govern fate and time and circumstance. With that power opens out the possibility of seeing the supreme light. With it, truth breaks in a triumph of fire. The hidden face of deity is revealed. This is what has happened to human Savitri when she caught hold of the magic formula, when she began operating the magic leverage. The great One Mother now rises in her. The stamp of the Spirit is put on her action. Fate disappears. The revolving wheel of necessity ceases to move. Savitri is a flaming warrior from the eternal peaks. She is empowered to force the door open. The last battle is fought. From death's visage, the dumb absolute is abolished. What was standing across the path of divine event that has been removed. The bounds of limiting consciousness have been broken. The infinity of space and eternity of time spread into the space of infinity and the time of eternity. Yet, Savitri hails the almighty and victorious death. She hails him as a grandeur darkness of the infinite, one who makes room for all to be. That is her greatness. That is the greatness of Savitri. That after the triumph, after the victory, she hails the almighty death and commands him still to be her instrument. It seems that in the scheme of things, death has a role to play, albeit negatively. He has a role to play. There is nothing superfluous in this creation, in this entire operation. Nothing redundant. Death has been a purposeful help. He can yet be helpful to the divine power in her cosmic working. He is her shadow. He is her instrument. He can still be useful to her. It is her sword of terror, her sword of grief and pain that he had been carrying, which he need not do any more. He is surrendering his sword of terror to Savitri. He is now carrying the sword of compassion, of joy, of happiness. Death has been instrumental in forcing the soul of man. True, rather negatively, he has been instrumental in forcing the soul of man, forcing on the path of freedom and knowledge and immortality and the divine possibilities in his creation. He has to take now the positive stand. Savitri needs him for that. Savitri needs for the fulfillment of her work, transformed death. It is transformed death who is now going to help the process of this creation. Savitri tells death to be still her instrument. In fact, it is now the transformed death who would grant her the most wonderful boon of divine life upon earth. The boon of divine life upon earth comes from transformed death. All this has already happened in the great transcendent. The issue has been settled in the transcendent. And now the occult has to get into operation. The occult of that issue has to become a living reality in the mortal world. Savitri's birth is that. Her birth as well as her work is to achieve, accomplish that occult work. At the old marketplace, Joan of Arc was burned at the stakes. With his kiss, Judas Iscariot betrayed Jesus for a paltry sum of 30 pieces of silver. The issue before Savitri was whether to accept life as it was, whether to bear the heavy yoke of ignorance and death and doom, or to hew the ways of immortality. But even that question would not arise for divine Savitri. Of ignorance and fate and death, that question would not arise for divine Savitri. But for human Savitri, yes, the answer has to come to it. For human Savitri, the only way to do it is to strike at the root of things. The root of difficulties lies in the presence of death. She must strike at those roots. In fact, as long as he is present, as long as death is present, things will always be difficult. They will always go wrong. Death's presence means things going wrong. That central cause has got to be removed. Savitri accepts the challenge and prepares herself yogically. She prepares herself yogically to meet death. In that preparation on the battlefield, she is there now to confront death. She wins victory over death and brings from the Supreme the boon of divine life upon earth. That is the issue which Savitri has to accomplish here in this mortal creation. That is the task which has been assigned to Savitri. Savitri's mortal birth is meant to settle the matter here, to win victory over death, to see that transformed death still becomes her instrument, and it is through that she would receive the boon of divine life upon earth.